Alright folks, today we're going to talk about abbreviated electron configurations. So they're short little abbreviated ways of doing electron configurations. Frankly, because I'm tired and I get sick of writing all these things. So if I look at lithium, I'll just do lithium first, just as an example. Lithium is typically 1s2, 2s1. That is its complete electron configuration. Alright, but what I can do is I can go back to this part and I can say, what is that? That's the last noble gas. So if I go back and I look at the last noble gas, that's helium. And what do I have left after helium? Well, I only have 2s1 that I have to write. So my abbreviated electron configuration, I look back to the last noble gas. So let's try it with sodium, which is a little bit better example, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 2p6, and 3s1. Well, what I do is sodium is number 11. So if I look back to the last noble gas prior to number 11, it's number 10. And number 10 is neon. So the stuff that I've underlined here, put in this box, that is the electron configuration for neon. So it's real easy for me at this point to go and rewrite this as neon plus 3s1. Okay, so that's sodium. Okay, so look at potassium. You should be able to realize the last noble gas prior to potassium was argon. And what's left after that? Well, all you have is 4s1. Now, what happens when you have a noble gas? Well, that you have to be a little bit careful of. You can't define neon in terms of neon. That just doesn't work. That's not allowed. So you have to work your way back to the previous noble gas. The previous noble gas prior to neon is helium. So you go back to helium, and then you do 2s2, 2p6, and that gives you neon. All right, how about aluminum? Well, aluminum is number 13, and the last noble gas prior to aluminum is neon, which is number 10. And then I have to have 3s2 and 3p1. And that gives me aluminum. All right, now calcium. Here we have a little problem. Remember, calcium 2+, right? Calcium, we would use argon to figure that out. But because it's a 2+, we don't have 20 electrons. We've only got 18. We have to remember that. So we have to look at the last noble gas prior to 18, because 18 is argon, and it is a noble gas. So we have to work our way back to the previous noble gas, which is neon, and then say from there we go to 3s2 and 3p6. So I find neon, which is number 10, and I add 8 electrons to it, and that gives me calcium with a 2+ charge. Now nitrogen with a 3- charge. Remember, nitrogen is number 7, but this tells me that I have a total of 10 electrons, which is neon, so I can't say it's neon. I can't define neon in terms of itself. So that's the way I define it. 2s2 and 2p6, beyond neon. How about sodium? Well, wait a minute. Sodium has a +1 charge, so this is also going to have, this is number 11, so this is only going to have 10 electrons. Well, if I look at this, that only has 10 electrons. So sodium is going to have, with a 1+ charge, because it's an ion, is going to have exactly the same configuration as nitrogen with a 3- charge. So you really can't work these backwards unless you're given more information. All right, so phosphorus. Let's look back at phosphorus. Phosphorus is neon. And from there we go to 3s2. We go to 3p3. Nickel, we go back to argon. I remember by the time we get to nickel, we had to write a lot of stuff out. Well, we don't have to write out anywhere near as much now. Where am I going to nickel? That's 3d8. Can't do two things at once. Zinc is going to look the same way. It just went 2 more electrons further. And bromine goes out a little bit further. am I looking for? Bromine. Bromine is going to be 5. Okay. And now argon. Remember, you can't define argon in terms of argon, so you have to go back one. You have to go back to neon, and then say it is 3s2 and 3p6. Okay. Last page of this. Helium. Well, you can't define helium in terms of anything prior to helium, so it's still simply 1s2. Now, strontium, that's krypton, because you have to take away 2 electrons. Strontium is normally 38, so I'm only going to have 36. So I have to go to argon, and I have to say it's argon plus 4s2, 3d10, and 4p6. All right. How about phosphorus with 3 minus charge? That brings me up to argon. So that means we're going to have neon. And I need 8 more electrons, which is a 3s2 and a 3p6. And how about bromine? That's number 35, but because it has a charge, it's number 36. So we're going to go to argon, because that's the previous noble gas. We're going to say it is 4s2. We're going to say it's 3p6. So if I go to argon, oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. That's not right. 3d10 and 4p6. Sorry about that. Okay. Do I believe that? 18 plus argon, 1836. Yep, we're good. Okay. All right, that's it. We're done. If you have questions, I'll see you in class. Take care. Bye.